the black moleskin. Lilah was never into journaling. That's me. But it makes sense that she might have wanted to keep a record of her trip, although more likely she was just bored. What's bizarre is that after the eye-rolling entry, there's only one more entry, and then Lilah's handwriting changes. It's definitely still her handwriting, but the words are much smaller, like she wanted to save space, wanted to fit as much as she could on each page. And she did. She packed every page, filled each one with that new, cramped writing. But she only wrote one line, wrote it over and over again. I am waiting. She traced each word multiple times so that every letter became darkly impressed upon the page. The words looked etched, carved almost. In places, her pen actually pierced the paper. I remember thinking how strange it was, the way she hunched over that notebook after she got back. She wouldn't tell me what she was writing, just laughed when I asked. She wrote feverishly, usually in the afternoon, and then at night, she went out, snuck out. She was almost 18, but still. I threatened to tell Mom and Dad. She said if I did, she'd never speak to me again. It was only a few days later, a few short days after she returned from Maine, that Lilah... Stepping away from the railing, I begin to hum under my breath. The wind gusts, and my hair flies up around my face. I pace the rigid metal deck, circling around the tower, trying to distract myself from considering the choice of activities on the hook. That's what locals call this long, rocky spit of land. It feels more like an island, the ocean's everywhere. At the end of every street, the view out every window. A few short days after she returned from Maine. That's when it happened. She went out on that boat. It could just as easily have been me. The water. It could have been me, sucked beneath the sea. Wishing my fearful imaginings were as easily changed as a radio station, I start to sing now. I've worked hard at this game, playing it when I need to, ever since Lilah nearly drowned. Hands trembling violently, I move back to the railing. Hold it tightly. Aquaphobia. That's what Mom says I have, but Dr. Harrison says there's nothing abnormal about my fear. He says it's a reaction, a result of Lilah's traumatic experience, that it'll fade over time. But did Dr. Harrison figure this into the mix? Living in a lighthouse? Is it supposed to help? I lift the binoculars back to my eyes, but look away from the water. Comprised of the lighthouse, the keeper's house, and one small outbuilding, the light station is about 20 minutes south of the harbor, the center of life here on Rock Hook Peninsula. The compound sits at the edge of a parcel of land designated to become a park, and next July, Rock Hook National Seashore will officially open to the general public. Tourists will invade the beach, trample the woods, and leave litter in their wake, ruining the wild beauty that stretches away to the south. And yes, it is beautiful, even with the water all around. For now, it's untouched, a wilderness. Breathing in the fine rain and salty mist, I scan the dunes and bluffs leading from the beach up to the woods. The forest is sparse where it starts, then the hilly terrain becomes dense with undergrowth and trees. As the incline steepens, the land begins to show again, becoming mostly barren. Sheer granite rock faces stretch up, 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 until finally, with rugged shrubs and tall trees clinging to the top, the park's most dramatic feature emerges, thrusting itself from the earth and jutting into the sky. Rock Hook Cliff. The huge ridge goes on, dipping and climbing out of sight, leading eventually to the end of the peninsula. It looks like the end of the world. Sunlight streams through a break in the clouds. I notice my arms are tiring from holding up the binoculars. I've gotten out of shape in the last year. I need serious exercise. Hiking might work, although I'll probably be wiped by the time I finish taking a walk in these woods.